If you're a home care agency, you've probably heard of care.com or a place for mom, agent care as a way for you to get clients for your home care agency. However, you aren't sure if it's worth doing because you've heard mixed results from it and you're not really sure what the platforms do or what they're really about. In this video, I'm going to explain how these services work, the pros and cons of these services like care.com, a place for mom, etc. If they are right for your home care agency, whether you should use them or you should not use them, and if you decide not to use them, what to do instead so that way you can keep getting private pay home care leads. Let's get right into it. If you don't know me, my name is Aaron, your go-to home care marketer. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe as it really does help the channel grow. And every like and subscribe is seen, heard, and loved. Thank you for doing so. So let's get right into the video. Just FYI, I'm going to be using care.com as the prime example, but sites like care.com, Agent Care, which is owned by, and aplaceformom.com, they all work in a very similar way. So if you don't know specifically what care.com is, care.com was founded in 2006 and was valued at $500 million, $500 million in 2019. The main purpose of care.com is to connect people who are looking for childcare, pet care, housekeeping, babysitting, and for our purposes, senior home care with businesses that offer those services. Since they've been established since 2006, they've been able to have a huge directory of businesses, and they've also gained goodwill from the community. They've gained their popularity by spending millions of dollars on different advertisements such as TV ads, writing, helpful content, paid ads, and a lot of other ways as well. Because of that, they have earned people's trust and people go to them when they need those related services I have listed before. And another reason why people trust them is that they ensure that the businesses that are listed on their directory is verified before they send any sort of leads to them. Speaking of leads, how do sites like care.com, a place for mom, and all these other lead aggregators generate the leads that they send to people? So they rely, of course, on their huge network and also a little bit of ranking in the Google search with their helpful content, but they also heavily invest in online media as well, such as Facebook ads, Google ads, and of course SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, which is just what's called the organic or the non-paid listings that you see in the Google results. So overall, if you want to get started with care.com, you just have to go onto their website and then sign up and verify your agency. Once you do that, they make you pay in leads for batches. So that means you give care.com, let's say $600. They promise to send you, let's say 10 leads, and each of those leads will come down to a cost of $60 per lead. Then once you sign up, you wait for the leads come in. Once you do get a lead, they send you their contact information, their name, email, and phone number, and the services they are requesting. And from there, you can go ahead, contact the lead, hopefully book the assessment, and close the client. So overall, that sounds great. However, there are a lot of bumps and hiccups along that road as well when it comes to getting the lead and closing them as a client if you're doing it through care.com. So they don't just send you the lead, they send you the lead and up to 3 different home care agencies. So in total, that person is getting in contact with 4 other home care agencies in the local area that offer the same services that you offer. Not only that, but they don't go to much lengths to confirm that the information is right. So if a person has a mistype or types in the wrong number, then you could be getting bad information, although this is not usually the case, so this shouldn't be a deterrent when it comes to using care.com. However, what I hear from a lot of other agencies that come wanting to work with me because they've had a bad experience with these lead aggregator sites like care.com, the most common response when they do reach out to the person, if they're able to get in contact with them, a lot of times they don't get any response from the person, is that they said that they've already talked with another home care agency, or that person feels so overwhelmed with all the calls, emails, and texts that they're getting that they end up just not wanting to talk to any home care agency. Let's say you are able to reach out to somebody and you are able to talk with them. They are incentivized to talk with other home care agencies because they have 3 other home care agencies that are also reaching out and contacting them through phone, email, and text. So it's not like they're talking with you, but they're getting all these notifications from other home care agencies that are willing to do the same services that you are doing. Thus, it makes it at that moment hard to really stand out and show why you're the better agency, especially just through a phone call. And unfortunately, the only real way to stand out and what people might take advantage of is if somebody undercuts your prices, and overall it's a race to the bottom. So one of my clients who's in Georgia had this experience with care.com. Every time she would get a lead, there's always one home care agency that would undercut every other home care agency from using care.com, and it was at unsustainable prices for that home care agency. The result was unfortunately that that person would get poor service, thus they would have a bad taste in the mouth of care.com and that other agency. So the agency has a bad reputation and lost that client. The person found that bad agency through care.com, so it kind of hurts care.com's reputation a little bit for that specific person. And the other home care agencies that could have, provided the better service, especially one of my clients, they don't get that client and they still have to pay for that lead, even if they weren't able to get in contact with them, or they just didn't have a chance because they were undercut so fast. So overall, what this means is that because you're competing with 3 other agencies, you have to reach out to them very quickly before any other home care agency can. So if you don't really have a system in place, or you're not glued to your phone all the time, you could end up missing that call and thus end up paying $50, $60, $70, even up to $90 per lead just to either get no response, or they say, oh, I've already spoken with another home care agency, which can be really sad and can add up if you're just missing a lot of the leads that are coming in. And if you think you can easily get a refund, that's another story. Care.com does not make it easy for you to get a refund. You have to fill out a complicated form, and then once you fill it out, you send it to them, they have to approve of it, and then you have to wait a good amount of time before you get that refund for that one lead. And you have to do that for every single lead that maybe you're just not getting a response with. If you are getting responses from that lead, then you're most likely not gonna get a refund from care.com. Also, because care.com offers a lot of different services, including finding private caregivers, the person might sign up, request services, but they may have the intention of, oh wait, I meant to get a private caregiver, not a home care agency. Thus, you still have to pay for that lead, and it might be a challenge to get them to go from private caregiver to home care agency. Let's quickly review the pros and cons of care.com, and let's see if it's right for you and your business at this current time. So the pros of care.com is that you're taking advantage of their 18-year track record, their marketing, and the trust that they've built. You don't have to worry about the marketing. They do that hard work for you, and then they send you the leads. The problems or the cons with care.com is that they share that lead with 3 other home care agencies. People can easily price shop and overall undercut you, and especially if you're not fast enough in responding to the leads. So let's say within the next 10 or 20 seconds from when you get the notification, you will have lost the lead, and then you're still going to have to pay a lot of money for those leads that you're missing, or that say, hey, I'm sorry, I've already contacted another home care agency. Also, this isn't common, but there's no guarantee that you're gonna get all those 10 leads in a timely fashion. One of my clients is in New Jersey. She's in a pretty small area with not a lot of people, and she bought some leads from care.com. However, it's been, a couple years at this point, and she still has not been able to get all those leads that care.com promised her, and she's still waiting on them. Sometimes be the case. This is only really a problem if you're in a small area or your target radius is very small and there's not a lot of people in it. If you are in a decently populated area, you should not have to worry about something like this. Some home care agencies I've talked to or seen, they have had success using care.com. However, it's not wild success, and the success can be limited or be very short run. It's not like I hear that, oh, I've gotten all my clients, I've been able to get to my $1 million home care agency dream just relying on care.com. No. And also, if you go on other websites like Reddit and other platforms, the customers who use care.com, they don't have a good experience using care.com as well, but that can be associated with any big brand or any big company. There's always going to be people that have a distaste for them, but keep in mind that care.com is people who are using care.com to find businesses to do service with may not have the best thoughts from their experience, and thus avoid using or don't want to use care.com in the future. So overall, if you can be very fast in responding to the lead and you have good sales skills when it comes to dealing with leads, although I will say having good sales skills is a prerequisite before you try to do any sort of marketing when it comes to your home care agency. And also, if you're willing to deal with people trying to undercut you, or people trying to go lower on the price, or the fact that people are talking to multiple agencies at the very same time, and if you don't mind reaching out to the person overall constantly, following up with them constantly, and dealing with maybe lower quality leads, then care.com is also a good fit for you as well. But let's say you don't want to deal with that. Is there a better way? Is there a better way to get private pay home care leads? What if I told you there's a way that you can play the same game that care.com plays, but play it a lot better than they can, and it's a lot easier than you think? Not only this, but you can generate exclusive leads for yourself. You don't have to share with any other home care agency, and those leads are calling you and not the other way around. You don't have to constantly chase them and follow up with them. They call you first, and then they inquire information about the services that you offer. So that, my friend, is by using Google Ads. By the way, if you remember the beginning of the video of how I said that care.com relies heavily on online media, online paid ads, this is the paid ad traffic channel that they heavily rely on as well to generate the leads that they send to you and 3 other home care agencies. Even if you've been under a rock, you probably know what Google is. It's the largest search platform in the world that people use to not only find information on certain subjects, but to find services that they need. And of course, businesses can pay to be on the top of Google, so that way when people are looking for those services, those businesses can appear at the top of the search, and it's the first thing that people see. Thus, if the ad is appealing, they're more likely to click on it and then call that business overall. By the way, Google Ads is how Google makes most of their money. They have other things like their phones, Google TV, and YouTube, but Google Ads is their primary way of making money. So that not only are they gonna try to do the best that it can in order to get you good private pay leads, but you can be rest assured that other people, other businesses in home care and out of home care have successfully used Google Ads, because businesses wouldn't be paying Google billions of dollars if Google Ads didn't work. Once they click on it, they go to a website or the web page that you made that shows that you are the go-to home care agency and that you can provide the services that they are looking for. From there, they call your business directly, and then they inquire you about home care services, so you can build that one-on-one relation to book the assessment and also close the client as well. You don't have to worry about other home care agencies reaching out to them at the same exact time. You don't have to worry about other home care agencies that are just going to try to undercut you in price, because you know that you're talking with them one-on-one, and that with Google Ads, that specific lead is not being shared with any other home care agency. But you might be curious, okay, I can run Google Ads, but how can I beat care.com at this game if they're also running Google Ads as well? So you have to remember that care.com is a nationwide brand. So overall, the ads that they make have to have a nationwide appeal. But most people want to work with a reputable local home care agency. Also, because they are a nationwide brand, they are not willing to pay a lot for one specific small area. So let's say they may be willing to pay $2 for any specific area in the United States, because although they may have a big budget, their big budget has to go a very, very, very long way. So if you come in and you offer to spend a little bit more, so let's say instead of the $2 or $3 that care.com is willing to spend, you're willing to spend $6, $7, $8 for the click, and your ad has local appeal, which is what I do for my clients. Google's going to want to give you that click over care.com. That way you get that click, thus you get that person calling you and turning into a private pay home care client. Now, yes, it is easier said than done. If you set it up the wrong way or you set it up blindly, then you can easily lose money with Google Ads. But what if I told you there's a way to get a high performing campaign built for you, so that way you know that once you have it, it's set up correctly and it can start generating leads from the get-go. And that is my done for you Google Ads campaign. So how it works is that I do all the research. I make the local appealing ads that beat out care.com. I do all the proper settings. I put in all the bells and whistles and plugins to make sure that once you have the campaign running for you, that it can start generating private pay home care leads right from the get-go. Then I give it to you. All you have to do is click a button to turn it on. And then if you don't have a website or you don't want to send the paid traffic to your current website, I can set that up for you as well. And then if you want to save money and then you just run the campaign for yourself, then all you have to do is just look at the campaign for 3 times a week, 10 minutes each time, to make sure that it's running smoothly. You'll get clear instructions on what to do as the campaign is running. Keep it generating calls for your home care agency. I have done this for so many agencies. You can view some of the testimonials on the page. This is my done for you home care agency marketing program. If you just want me, however, to not only make the campaign but manage the Google Ads account for you, I can do that for you as well, but that is an ongoing fee. With this done for you campaign, this is a one-time fee. You pay me just once and then you get the campaign built out for you and then you manage it. If you want me to manage the campaign, it's an ongoing cost, but however, you don't have to worry about managing the campaign at all. I take care of all the work. You just have to worry about getting the calls. If you want to learn more about the Done For You program, there's going to be a link in the description below for that. However, if you do want to book a call for me to work with you directly and for me to manage the campaign for you instead, then there will also be a link in the description for that kind of call as well. So that is care.com, the pros and the cons, who should use it, and what you can do if you don't want to use care.com. If you want to learn more about setting up your own Google Ads campaign, I have a video on screen right now which talks about setting up a proper Google Ads campaign for your business.